you're actually going to just speak to ChatGPT. You won't even have to type anymore. Talk about lazy, right? But you can literally just talk into your microphone and say, I want this, this, this. I want this GPT to do this. And then when it does that, I want that done. And I mean, just give it the instructions that you want.
You can make these cool tools, these
Right.
cool, basically software programs, and all they need is ChatGPT, and all you need to do is express how cool it is, and you want to buy it. Okay, that's going to be $97 or whatever.
Yep.
Or maybe there's, I don't know, we have to see it, but the bottom line is you can make a ton of money off this very quickly.
Welcome back to Making Money with AI. And there are some bombshell announcements yesterday from the OpenAI Developers Conference. Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, doing some amazing stuff. And today we want to talk about, I think, what the biggest development is. The biggest bombshell announcement yesterday was GPTs, which means you can create your own GPT. You can create your own AI agents that do any task imaginable. And what this does is it opens up the world to be able to sell your own ChatGPT type thing, your own GPTs, your own tools that are AI agents. Pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, this is nuts. And what we're gonna do on this particular video, which is a little bit different, but I think is super cool, is we're gonna watch part of this presentation, then we're gonna talk on it. But to me, this is just absolutely freaking nuts. So let's check it out.
Yeah, we're going to show you a quick excerpt from this conference, and just it's going to blow your mind. It's already blowing our minds, and this is going to open up a whole new way of making money with AI.
So today, we're taking our first small step that moves us towards this future. We're thrilled to introduce GPTs. GPTs are tailored versions of ChatGPT for a specific purpose. You can build a GPT, a customized version of ChatGPT, for almost anything, with instructions, expanded knowledge, and actions, and then you can publish it for others to use. And because they combine instructions, expanded knowledge, and actions, they can be more helpful to you. They can work better in many contexts, and they can give you better control. They'll make it easier for you to accomplish all sorts of tasks or just have more fun, and you'll be able to use them right within ChatGPT. You can, in effect, program a GPT with language just by talking to it. It's easy to customize the behavior so that it fits what you want. This makes building them very accessible, and it gives agency to everyone. So we're going to show you what GPTs are, how to use them, how to build them, and then we're going to talk about how they'll be distributed and discovered.
So that's just
the
beginning of it. Just the very beginning of it. You can see that we can build our own GPTs by literally just talking to ChatGPT. That's mind-boggling, because James and I have wanted to create our own software, create our own AI tools, but we've been stuck at either paying a developer, finding somebody who knows programming and all that kind of stuff, because we don't. And there are some no-code tools out there, but look at this. You could just literally talk to it and say, I want it to do this, 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 and this, and it's going to build it for you. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, software is where it's at. The business model of software as a service where it's at. I've been super excited with ChatGPT plugins, but this takes it to a whole new level because of the fact that you can just talk to it. So you can say, okay, I want a tool that goes out and searches the internet and gives me this kind of info. I want it to then make an Excel spreadsheet. Think of like Zaps, those types of things where it's like, if this, then that.
Yep.
But it's like, it's all just done for you just by the way you talk to it. And it's going to be freaking insane, because you could just have an idea. Everybody has great ideas. A lot of people have good ideas, but that's not where the money's at. The money is in the execution. So
Right.
What happens when you actually have the ability to execute on your good ideas? It's like, wouldn't it be cool if whatever it is, I mean, you could think of a million different things, but you think, man, I wish there was a software that did this. And then you just tell it that, and then it makes it. Like, the amount of money that's going to be made is going to be absolutely ridiculous with this.
It is crazy. Let's go back to that conference and see what he continues to say here.
In schools, they've got a curriculum that is used by tens of millions of students worldwide. Code.org crafted Lesson Planner GPT to help teachers provide a more engaging experience for middle schoolers. If a teacher asks it to explain for loops in a creative way, it does just that. In this case, it'll do it in terms of a video game character, repeatedly picking up coins. Super easy to understand for an 8th grader. As you can see, this GPT brings together Code.org's extensive curriculum and expertise and lets teachers adapt it to their needs quickly and easily. Next, Canva has built a GPT that lets you start designing by describing what you want in natural language. If you say, make a poster for a dev day reception this evening, and you give it some details, it'll generate a few options to start with by hitting Canva's APIs. Now, this concept may be familiar to some of you. We've evolved our plugins to be custom actions for GPTs. You can keep chatting with this to see different iterations. And when you see one you like, you can click through to Canva for the full design experience.
So this is going to take plugins to a freaking crazy level, because what's going to happen is ChatGPT. One thing that's awesome about ChatGPT is they keep modifying. Like right now, I go into ChatGPT just to make my own photos. I don't go to Midjourney or anything. I just go in there and it works with DALL-E, and I just tell it what it wants, and it makes my images for me. Period. So ChatGPT is going to like disrupt everything, because you as a large company, in a way, are going to have to, in my opinion, are going to have to be forced to use this. In other words, Canva's doing this right now. You may or may not like Canva. I personally like it, but man, there's still, even though that's super easy to use, that tool, you still have to go in there, and there's layers and there's things you can choose. You can just say, I want this. And like I said in that video, it's just going to work with Canva and just make that thing for you.
Right.
And then what can you do? Now it's even so insane, because you could just go on all these different marketplaces that are out there, because we're so far ahead of the rest of the world, and say, they want something designed. What do you want? You want this thing designed? Okay. ChatGPT, make this for me, please. Okay. Wait 30 seconds. Yeah, that looks good. Go over here. Wait a day, so that makes it seem like that you're working on something.
Seems like you're working. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a day, and then say, oh yeah, that'll be $200, please. Took you literally 15 seconds to make that. Like, that's ridiculous. And that's just Canva, one they're showing. This is going to be used for everything. If you were a travel agent, okay, well, this thing's gonna go into Expedia. This thing's gonna go over here. So you're a travel agent, and you just say, okay, you're talking to someone on the phone. All right, you want to go to Paris on these dates? Okay, you want this hotel stay? Okay, ChatGPT talking. Hey, I just want this all booked. This is what I want here. I want you also to make a plan, send it to this email, and then boom, it's like sent to them. And then, yeah, I'll take my 10% commission on your $10,000 trip, please.
Exactly. It's incredible. And as you'll see a little bit further on, it gets even more mind-boggling, because, well, I don't want to give it away. We'll just continue. But
yeah, this is crazy.
Great ideas there, James. And it really is opening up the world. And by the way, we want to reiterate what James said. You're actually going to just speak to ChatGPT. You won't even have to type anymore. Talk about lazy, right? But you can literally just talk into your microphone and say, I want this. I want this GPT to do this. And then when it does that, I want that done. And I mean, just give it the instructions that you want.
You know what's going to happen though, Dave? People are going to not even be happy with that, because of like, I don't even want to talk. They just want it to like interact with your mind, right? Seriously, that's what will happen.
It's going to happen.
People will be upset that they have to talk to it, but that's the way the world is.
All right, let's continue. It's pretty amazing.
We know that many people who want to build a GPT don't know how to code. We've made it so that you can program a GPT just by having a conversation. We believe that natural language is going to be a big part of how people use computers in the future, and we think this is an interesting early example. So I'd like to show you how to build one. All right, so I want to create a GPT that helps give founders and developers advice when starting new projects. I'm going to go to create a GPT here, and this drops me into the GPT builder. I worked with founders for years at YC, and still, whenever I meet developers, the questions I get are always about, how do I think about a business idea? Can you give me some advice? I'm going to see if I can build a GPT to help with that. So to start, GPT Builder asks me what I want to make. And I'm going to say, I want to help startup founders think through their business ideas and get advice. After the founder has gotten some advice.
And in this demo, he didn't even pluralize a founder.
Right.
It's still gonna work it.
Growing faster. All right. So to start off, I just tell the GPT a little bit about what I want here. And it's going to go off and start thinking about that. And it's going to write some detailed instructions for the GPT. It's also going to, let's see, ask me about a name. How do I feel about Startup Mentor? That's fine. That's good. So if I didn't like the name, of course, I could call it something else. But it's going to try to have this conversation with me and start there. And you can see here on the right in the preview mode that it's already starting to fill out the GPT, where it says what it does. It has some like ideas of additional questions that I could ask. And you know what? So it just generated a candidate. Of course, I could regenerate that or change it, but I sort of like that. So I will say, that's great. And you see now that the GPT is being built out a little bit more as we go. Now, what I want this to do, how it can interact with users, I could talk about style here. But what I'm going to say is I am going to upload transcripts of some lectures
This
about
is
startups
crazy.
I have given.
Hmm.
Please give advice based off of those. All right.
Now, what I'm noticing here is this is like having a developer right next to you. This is literally like having a
right.
programmer, a developer, a dev team, a whole team, right? Because you got graphics, you have the ability to talk to it, you have all this coding going on in the back end. It's crazy. Okay, I'll
I mean, there's all
continue.
kinds of stuff. Think of it like this. You could have like, lectures of somebody. Like, let's just say you have all these lectures of like physicists or something like that.
Mhm.
So you basically upload all these lectures from physicists,
Yep.
and it learns how these guys talk, and then you could sell something to people that are trying to become physicists in college, and this is like a physicist tutor. And so you pay $9 a month or $10 a month or whatever, and then you can go in, and it's like these top physicists are there to help you on your homework. They're not doing your homework for you, but they're giving advice, whatever. Like, that's just one I just thought of in 10 seconds,
Right, right. It is
and that would
nuts.
do it for you.
So now it's going to go figure out how to do that. And I would like to show you the configure tab. So you can see some of the things that were built out here as we were going by the builder itself. And you can see that there's capabilities here that I could enable. I could add custom actions. These are all fine to leave. I'm going to upload a file. So here is a lecture that I picked that I gave with some startup advice. And I'm going to add that here. In terms of these questions, this is a dumb one. The rest of those are reasonable and like very much things founders often ask. I'm going to add one more thing to the instructions here, which is be concise and constructive with feedback. All right. So again, if we had more time, I'd show you a bunch of other things. But this is like a decent start. And now we can try it out over on this preview tab. So I will say, what's a common question? What are 3 things to look for when hiring employees at an early stage startup? Now it's going to look at that document I uploaded. It'll also have, of course, all of the background knowledge of GPT-4. That's pretty good. Those are 3 things that I definitely have said many times. Now we could go on and it would start following the other instructions and grill me on why I'm not growing faster. But in the interest of time, I'm going to skip that. I'm going to publish this only to me for now.
You can publish only to you. You can publish to anyone at OpenAI or only people with a link or to the public. So
I like that. Only people with the link. So
exactly.
if you want this tool,
Yep.
you got to pay me. You got to pay me, and then you get the link. Boom.
That's it. Set up a funnel, and on the thank you page, you give them the link, or however that works, right? Yep. That's what I had to pause there when I watched it the first time. I'm like, there we go, monetize. We can monetize this.
Yeah, exactly.
I can work on it later. I can add more content. I can add a few actions that I think would be useful, and then I can share it publicly. So that's what it looks like to create a GPT. Thank you.
And that's just the start. I mean,
that is just the thing.
Who knows where that goes? But like ultimately, what's going to happen is, and this may already be there, but it's cool if I'm fine with it just being in ChatGPT and it's like a plugin, a better plugin, a GPT that they can access. But also, it's going to be cool when it gets to the point, and maybe this is even there, where it can make like software applications for you. But that in and of itself is crazy and can be monetized like crazy, because you can make these cool tools, these cool basically software programs, and all they need is ChatGPT, and all you need to do is express how cool it is, and you want to buy it. Okay, that's going to be $97 or whatever.
Yep.
Or maybe there's, I don't know, we have to see it, but the bottom line is you can make a ton of money off this very quickly.
Very exciting, very exciting. A little later, he goes into a little bit more, like he talks about they're going to have a marketplace for GPTs. So you're going to be able to sell your GPTs, but that's all undefined right now. It's still not clear how they're going to do that, what the revenue split would be, et cetera. But I really like that idea that we can sell our own GPTs by having that link to a private GPT. So that's one of the things we want to share with you today. Hope you're excited as we are. Imagine now you can create your own GPTs, which is kind of like your own software. and sell it like crazy. Maybe even sell membership access to it, like ongoing subscription access.
It's just really cool. Things are just moving so fast, and it's getting easier and easier and easier. The barrier of entry is getting smaller and smaller and smaller for everything in AI, but specifically with ChatGPT, which is my favorite thing with AI right now. I mean, the ability for you to create, and then once you set it up once, it's there for the world to go get it. It's just awesome. It's just awesome that the time to develop things, to try and make a good software. I mean, there's people that work on software for years,
Yep.
or there's people that work on software for months, and maybe someone likes it, maybe someone doesn't. You get the right software, you could have that thing made in an hour. And there will be cases, Dave, where people make something in an hour, and then the next day they've got 1,000 people
It
using
went
it.
viral. Yep.
Like, that's going to happen. It
Totally.
was just an hour of their time saying, man, this could really help a bunch of people. And then you can go into, the more you get niched down into specifics of, like, not just the app that the whole 8 billion people in the world want, but you get
Right.
stuff that there's 10,000 people that could really, really use this.
Very
Man, that's when
specific.
you can charge a lot of money, and then you're not going to have any competition.
Yeah. Crazy, crazy times we live in. And if you want to stay up to date, be sure to sign up for our free newsletter. And when you do, you'll get our free ebook called 40 Ways to Make Money with ChatGPT. Link will be in the description below. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time on Making Money with AI.